Just over a year ago, Rolex announced that they were starting their own certified pre-owned program. How have they done? How much do CPO watches cost? What does the future look like for CPO? And importantly, for collectors and enthusiasts, is buying Rolex CPO worth it? Let's tackle those questions today. All the data in this video comes from WatchCharts.com, the world's most powerful watch market research platform. Visit our website to understand high-level watch market trends, get up-to-date pricing on over 24,000 watches, and track the value of your collection. Also, if you're interested in buying and selling among fellow collectors, then we invite you to visit the WatchCharts marketplace at marketplace.watchcharts.com. For the past year, we've been tracking the CPO program closely as it has rolled out to multiple retailers. And so let's first examine where the program expanded to in its first full year from early December 2022 to early January 2024. We'll follow that up with some analysis of available inventory and CPO prices and how they compare to prices by dealers in the secondary market in the same region, and lay out how we think the CPO program will evolve over the course of this year. We'll round out the overview with our thoughts on whether CPO is worth it for enthusiasts and collectors, and what it might take for that assessment to change. The program launched, of course, with Bucherer in December 2022 in Europe, and then with Tourneau, which is owned by Bucherer, which is now owned by Rolex, in May 2023 in the US. Bucherer started out with a couple hundred listings, while Tourneau started out with over 1,000 listings. The other notable entrants were Watches of Switzerland in the third quarter of 2023, with hundreds of listings in the US and UK each, and the 1916 Company, which includes Govberg Jewelers, Watchbox, Hyde Park, and Radcliffe Jewelers, in November 2023, with over 900 listings. Since last summer, there have been multiple retailers that have enrolled in the program every month, including this month of January. As of the time of recording this, by our count, there are at least 34 authorized dealers selling Rolex CPO inventory internationally, nearing a total of 4,000 active listings. Every other Rolex AD has fewer than 100 active listings, with the exception of Prestons in the UK, and they're all situated in the US and Europe. All of the ADs listed here make their CPO inventory viewable online, and most of them make it available for purchase online as well. The next question is what CPO watches cost, and if they're more or less expensive than buying the same watch from a secondary market dealer. We've been tracking the prices for the watches listed for sale by the larger dealers, specifically Bucherer, Tourneau, Watches of Switzerland, and the 1916 Company, since they joined the program. We also calculate a CPO premium, where we compare the price of each Rolex CPO listing with our estimate of a typical price for the same watch sold by a non-Rolex certified dealer in the same region. Let's quickly look at an example. We compute the market price for the GMT Master Reference 116710 BLNR, which is the previous generation Batman, to be around $14,500 as of the time of recording this. Here's one recent example that's sold on Rolex forums for $14,325 from a reputable dealer. The 1916 Company has a listing for this watch at $16,950. So based on our estimated non-Rolex certified dealer price, specifically for the US, which could be a number that's different from the market price that I referenced earlier, that's a CPO premium on this listing specifically of plus 17%. Watches of Switzerland in the UK, to use a different example, has a listing for this watch at £16,950, which is approximately $21,600 as of January 8 when we did this analysis. That means the CPO premium for this listing is 34% above the non-Rolex certified dealer price we calculate specifically for the UK. We can extend this approach across listings and ADs to calculate the CPO premium for each AD across all of their hundreds of listings, instead of just looking at individual listings like we did with this one example. For each of the retailers listed here, Bucherer, Tourneau, Watches of Switzerland in the UK and US separately, and the 1916 Company, we calculate the average CPO premium across all their listings for which we can identify the reference, and for which we have sufficient data to calculate a dealer price in that region, and therefore the CPO premium. On average, as of this month, Watches of Switzerland in the US had the highest average CPO premium of any dealer, while the 1916 company had by far the lowest average CPO premium at just over plus 17%. These charts show the evolution over time of both the total available supply, that's the blue bar chart, as well as the average CPO premium, which is the red trend line, across all listings from Bucherer since December 2022 and Tourneau since May 2023. There is far less of a trend line for Watches of Switzerland and the 1916 company since they joined the CPO program so much more recently. But in short, CPO prices have been notably higher than non CPO prices, regardless of region, retailer, and almost without exception, the watches themselves. The premiums for Bucher in Europe and Tourneau in North America are also published and updated daily on our website. So you can check them out at watchcharts.com/Rolex CPO. I'll include a link in the video description. I just want to underscore the observation on inventory levels. There are fewer than 4,000 CPO listings across all these authorized dealers, but that's a tiny fraction of the Rolex watches out there for sale, where across eBay, Chrono24, and all the forums we aggregate in the WatchCharts marketplace, there are well over 100,000 Rolex listings. At the same time, though, the CPO program has not expanded to the Middle East, where there are large ADs like Siddiqui, or the Asia Pacific region that has the Hourglass, for example. There are lots of large ADs in the US and Europe still, for example, Wempy or Benbridge, who have not yet joined the program. So while the growth this past year in participation has been significant, there is still a long way to go. So, Rolex has allowed their ADs to price these watches as they see fit, and almost without exception for the watches we've observed, the big ADs have priced them higher than the dealer price for that region. As enthusiasts and collectors, the obvious next question is whether it makes any sense to buy a Rolex CPO watch instead of just buying from a non-CPO dealer, especially since CPO is only going to continue to grow from here. Well, that depends on what you value. If price is your only consideration, then the data is pretty unambiguous that CPO costs significantly more than non-CPO. But in our opinion, CPO is not just about price. It's also about expanding the range of transactions that are possible with your local authorized dealer. There's the possibility of doing trade-ins if you're not someone who wants to hold on to every watch you purchase and, swap them out every few years. You may want to buy a watch urgently, maybe even make an online purchase where you don't have to spend hours doing due diligence on whether you can trust the secondary market dealer you're buying from. If the watch condition is acceptable to you and is accurately described, and if the watch even works. You may previously have considered buying a pre-owned Rolex from Watchbox, one of the largest pre-owned watch dealers in the world, which would have guaranteed the authenticity of the watch and its working condition based on the work of their in-house Rolex certified watchmakers and even provided their own warranty. Other than the white labeling as Rolex CPO now, there is no tangible difference between the product Watchbox was selling last year and that the 1916 company is selling today, except that it's 17% more expensive on average. But is that worth it for the peace of mind you get from the white labeling and a Rolex official stamp of approval and a Rolex authenticity guarantee and a Rolex warranty? Only you can answer that question for yourself. Let us know in the comments below if you would spend some of your own money buying a Rolex CPO watch sometime in 2024 and beyond. Thanks for watching.